Hi, thank you guys so much for having me, and thank you to Goldie and the amazing FedScoop team. We really appreciate being here. And it's an honor to be here with you all, so many federal civilian employees. And I want to start off by saying, just acknowledging the scale of what you all do every single day. Here I want to talk about something important, reinventing government in the era of data intelligence. Not with buzzwords, but with proven outcomes from agencies that are leading transformations today. Just to start off some context, Databricks is the inventor of the Lakehouse architecture and pioneers in generative AI. We serve over 12,000 commercial customers like Rolls-Royce, JP Morgan Chase, and have hundreds of public sector customers. But what matters most for this room is our track record with mission-critical government workloads. We're not a startup trying to find our way with federal requirements. We're a proven platform that understands the unique challenges of our government customers. Since 2018, Databricks Federal has been purpose-built for government, so we're FedRAMP High authorized, we support DoD Impact Level 5, and we're deployed across 80% of federal agencies today. Like I mentioned before, our hundreds of public sector customers include the DoD and DOJ, IRS, the list goes on. But what really matters here today is that it's not just theory, it's operational reality. And so I want to start off by just telling a couple quick stories of some large customer success stories that I'm personally pretty proud of. So let me start off with the US Citizenship and Immigration Services. When they brought us in, they were drowning in data. Processing delays for immigration applications had increased almost 90% since 2014. Millions of families and citizens were waiting for decisions, and the culprit was what you all would expect, a legacy on-premise architecture that took days to process what really should have taken minutes. They made a bold decision. They migrated to our Databricks platform and increased query performance by 24%. So what was taking days, it was now being processed in minutes. But most important, people were getting their decisions quicker, and families weren't waiting as long. And I think that's what matters. Databricks is really about driving mission impact. So the next story I wanted to talk about was the Center for Medicaid and Medicare Services, CMS. So they managed 64 million Americans' healthcare, and they were facing a massive fraud problem, tens of billions of dollars annually. They deployed entity analytics in Databricks to connect the dots of millions of disparate health records, claims, and provider data. And so they're now processing 1.2 billion claims per year using our machine learning models to identify suspicious patterns that humans would have trouble identifying. They've unified data across 188 systems, preventing fraud, waste, and abuse. And then finally, the DoD, our largest and most complex federal agency. They had a big problem, again, thousands of siloed data systems, tens of thousands of users on their analytics platform, and through Databricks, they were able to modernize their data platform. They now support 100,000 users, delivering actionable intelligence to their leaders. And since 2019, we've helped them save $14.7 billion in improper payments, which is that's a pretty large sum. So these aren't isolated stories. I think it represents a kind of a fundamental shift happening in government right now. You have the Department of Veterans Affairs modernizing veterans' health records, the USPS, thank you Preetha for going over that, which I can't, the USPS customer success story has been one of our favorites. So now we can kind of move into where are we at now. As everyone knows, data and AI is a top government priority. But let's be honest, priorities without execution are just good intentions. And having come from government, sometimes I realize that policies, while they might come down without a clear way to execute, is very difficult. I think it's clear, everyone understands we would need to move from legacy systems to the cloud for performance and scale. We need to federate and catalog our data systems and accelerate AI adoption. But again, the right policies doesn't mean we have the right capabilities. And the reality is similar for our commercial customers as well as for government. It's challenging. Data and AI isn't a simple fix. Like Preetha was saying, AI is not a button. It takes a lot of time getting your data organized and ready. The government agencies that deliver citizen services have created these complicated technical architectures over many decades. Just think system on top of system. And while each system or piece of technology was introduced to solve something important, the ultimate objective was to intake a request for a service or a benefit, adjudicate it, and provide that service or benefit quickly. As new technology has been acquired and policies and regulations are layered on top of each other, these cycles and the way the data flows across these cycles has become challenging, error-prone, and ultimately impacted both the speed and quality of the delivery of these services. So if you look at the system of just generally any data estate, this could be a government agency or a large commercial firm that's not digitally native. You have multiple orchestration tools, separate ETL processes, disconnected machine learning platforms, isolated data warehousing. And ultimately, this drives slow decision-making, creates security vulnerabilities, and honestly, agencies are just spending more money than they should. As the government has accumulated this patchwork of data environments over time, the silos and the efficiencies are driving increased premium and data infrastructure costs, somewhere around 30%. But again, ultimately, this impacts mission and people. This is why Databricks built the data intelligence platform, not as another piece of technology that can layer on top, but as a foundation that can be a unified governance tool and help replace complexity with simplicity. We pioneered the lakehouse architecture because we recognized a fundamental problem. Data warehouses couldn't handle unstructured data and modern AI workloads, and data lakes couldn't provide the reliability and performance that mission-critical applications require. The lakehouse combines the best of both, reliability and performance of the warehouses with the flexibility and scale of the lakehouses. On this unified lakehouse foundation, you can execute all of your data and AI initiatives on a single platform. Reliable data ingestion, high-performance data warehousing, business intelligence, deep data science capabilities, and AI for both classical and generative AI workloads, all governed by Unity Catalog with enterprise-wide security and compliance. When it comes to modernizing data and AI, two big breakthroughs have changed everything. One, the lakehouse for unifying and governing all data in one place. And two, generative AI for making that data accessible to everyone. So what makes this different from previous modernization efforts? First, the unified governance. Unity Catalog. With Unity Catalog, agencies can seamlessly govern their data, structured, unstructured, machine learning models, dashboards, notebooks, across any cloud platform. No more data silos, no more security. Your data is stored in open source formats, so no more vendor lock. One platform and total visibility. Second, democratized AI. This isn't just for data scientists anymore. With generative AI infused through the platform, frontline federal employees, customs agents, teachers, analysts can get the right information at the right time. I'm definitely not very technical, and I use Databricks to just use natural language processing and ask questions in regular English language, and I can tell you it works. Third is real-time decision-making, which I think is important for everyone in this room. In crises, whether it's a cyber attack, a natural disaster, a pandemic response, waiting for weekly batch reports isn't an option, and our platform processes in real time, enabling agencies to respond to the speed of mission. The bottom line is, the era of data intelligence isn't coming, it's here, and agencies that embrace it will be the ones delivering better services, making smarter decisions, and earning greater public trust. The choice isn't whether to modernize your data strategy, it's whether to lead the transformation or follow it. Again, this isn't a distant vision. What's happening now, today with agencies that are using Databricks Intelligence Platform is that they're changing the way they fundamentally do business. And the question is, whose agency will be next? I look forward to talking to all of you. Thank you.